Hey guys, and welcome to the Cantina. It's me, Mook, and obviously Chemist again. We're back for, is this the Friday update show? I hope so.
This is the Friday update show.
Yeah, I was very wrong, as usual. Yeah, Friday update was quite a, well, I suppose it is quite a big one this week. We got the revelation that is how long the early access is going to last, which I'd like to point out Chemist guessed before they announced it, because he's a twat.
No, they finally let us know how long we're actually going to get early access and the circumstances surrounding it. So that was nice. Sure, the release date was cool, and also we know what target zone, but really we wanted to know when early access started so we could know when to get free off school, work, whatever.
Or being a man whore like I am.
He's a man whore. He works in a corner. Sucky, sucky.
The good news for us, as in me and Chemist on this channel, is that means the NDA will be dropped by then, which means we'll be giving you a lot more variety of shows, not only from ourselves, but a lot of our guild have shown interest in getting involved, so you can expect a lot of PvP information videos, build videos, things like that. The second it goes, the NDA drops, so keep watching. Keep watching.
Right, well, we have a couple of subjects for you guys, aside from the early access that we just covered, and if you have any questions surrounding it, you can go ahead and drop them in the comment section below or send us a message. But just to explain it to you guys that haven't read it on StarWarsJoeRepublic.com, it's 5 days. It's 5 days early access, meaning that early access starts the 15th of December. So some of you might be asking, does that mean all of us get that? No. It depends on when your CD key was put into your account. The earlier, the higher chance of getting early access, and the frequency of them letting people in is all dependent on how well their servers handle things. So, ladies and gentlemen, they will send you an email to let you know when your early access starts. But early access as a whole, if you pre-ordered on the first day, they said around 500,000 pre-orders the first day, which is around the same number that they wanted to open up first day. So if you pre-ordered on the day pre-orders went live, you're pretty much secure for a 5-day pre-order. Early access, sorry.
Could that mean, though, that they could have the 5-day pre-order, the servers be fucking wank, and then no one else gets in?
Possibly. Quite possibly. I don't think it's going to go down that way,
no!
But... Sorry. For the sake of Murphy's Law, then, yeah, it could happen. It could happen. I don't think it's likely, but it could happen.
If it happens, I'm going to go cry in a corner.
On top of that, they also released a new Imperial Agent class progression video, just showing you the different sides to both Operative and Sniper. This is a class that haven't gotten much love in terms of the media, but I can assure you all, if you're contemplating on playing the Imperial Agent, it is a highly advanced and cool class.
Yeah, but the issue now is it's making me doubt what I want to play.
Yeah, it is a very cool class. A lot of accessories, a lot of gimmicks, a lot of tricks. It is the mirror of the smuggler. But
they also give you a free goat if you play it.
Yeah. Stop playing with your gun in the background, crying out loud.
I'm not playing with anything.
Yes, you are. But yeah, generally cool video, good show. Finally, that they did some cool stuff with the agent, because it's kind of been one of the downplayed classes. But personally, from seeing them in game, they are badass. They're badass. Do not underestimate them.
They make my balls go tingly, yeah.
Yeah, they make them go tingly, yeah.
Yeah. That
Indeed.
was, well, I think that was a good Friday update, which makes a nice change, because lately they've been pretty gay. Pretty lame.
Pretty gay.
Yeah. Now I just want them to cover world bosses. Which,
world bosses?
Oh yeah, little beta leak, if what Chemist says was true to me the other day, there will be crate dragons.
Fuck's sake, you weren't supposed to tell them. Retard!
I can't wait to go and touch a crate dragon in intimate places and make them squeal.
The crater. Haha, see what I did there. Anyhow, we have another subject for you guys. Since the last 2 weeks, well, not the last two, well, kind of the last 2 weeks, we've been covering both beta tanking and beta healing. So this time we're going to cover beta DPS and just let you guys know sort of how it's going to work.
Can I rephrase that? Beta deeps.
Deeps.
From now on it'll be, yo, what spec are you? I's deeps, bro.
You did not just do a chavvy voice. Moving on. Fucking Shav, man. Anyway, moving on. We're going to be talking about DPS. DPS is much in the same way that you know it, but one thing you have to take into account, both in PvP and PvE, all classes are capable of doing DPS. No matter the class, you're able to do DPS, good DPS. The thing about TOR is, though, combat is generally slower than normal. Now, in PvE it might seem faster since they tend to spread out multiple trash mobs to make it seem heroic instead of one big one like you're known in WoW, like 2 big guys stand in the hallway and then you go to the boss. Here they just kind of have 20 lesser mobs that are not that hard to kill. But generally, combat in TOR is slower than you would feel. It's fast-paced, but yet slower.
That makes absolutely no fucking sense to me.
Now, allow me to explain. Like, you're going to do a lot of attacks after each other. It's not like you do one attack and then you have a 3-second global cooldown. Absolutely not. You do one attack after the other, you spam, you spam, you spam. But you don't die as quickly as you do in other games.
Is there no global cooldown?
There is a global cooldown. Depending on what you are, it's either 1 second or 1.5 seconds. Depending if it's ranged or melee. Melee obviously having the advantage since they have to cover the distance. But generally, DPS is fast-paced, but it's slower than you would normally expect. So it's not going to be like in WoW where you get shadow-stepped and double ambushed and you're dead. That's not going to happen. Even with 5 people on you, you're going to survive for a couple of seconds, which is different from World of Warcraft or Rift or any other PvP MMO. Well, not a PvP MMO, but an MMO with PvP. So generally, DPS is constructed in a little different way, which also makes sustained DPS a lot more important. Whereas in WoW, all you'd be able to do is have to burst your shit for 2 minutes, boss is dead. In TOR, it's slower paced, which means being able to deliver sustained DPS, perfect rotation, good gear, the right gems, right customization is much more important in order to be successful in PvE and PvP. But
are we going to see the same issue in the old games where DPS is, as a class, how do I say, lackluster? Like, you could take pretty bad DPS in on most bosses and you'd be able to kill them if you got slight coherence? Or is DPS actually this time, because I view healing and tanking as quite skillful abilities, are you going to need DPS to be equally as skillful? Because I always view it, personally, and I play DPS, as more of the nubbin class out of the 3.
I very much disagree. Out of all the raids, sure, you might not be able to do an instance without a tank or a healer, but DPS is the most important role in any raid situation. But that's my perspective, both as a guild leader and a raid leader. My perspective is, if DPS is lacking, your raid's gonna suck. Because tanking, yeah, you can fix that. Healing, well, it's nice to have good and skilled healers, a very integral, important part. But if your DPS fails, your instance and your run fails. DPS are important, as they are on TOR. If your DPS fails, you might be able to survive a little longer because there's no diminishing pool or such. You're not going to run out of mana.
Yeah, who's the glass cannon of the 2 sides on TOR, would you say?
Glass cannons of the 2 sides? I don't understand the question.
Well, Fire Mage, glass cannon. You know, super powerful, die very quickly.
None. Don't exist in TOR. All the classes have capacity for high damage. I'd say the one that can probably deliver the highest amount of burst would be the Assassin / Shadow, or the Trooper / Trooper Commando / Mercenary. They can deliver immense burst compared to other classes in TOR, but they can
I can also release immense burst all over your face.
Anyhow, fucking retard. Anyway, most classes can deliver very good DPS, but bursts lie with those 2 classes, in my opinion. This is an opinion, it's not a fact. Because PvP is not as linear as in this and other games. There are a lot of more factors involved, so you can't just say, well, this is the best DPS class for whatever. All the classes are capable of doing high-end DPS, so when it comes down to your class choice in TOR, what it comes down to is playstyle and aesthetics. So you want to be ranged tank, fair enough, aim for that. You want to be melee DPS, sure, aim for that. And then, of course, the way the character looks. Aim for the aesthetics, aim for the playstyle. Don't go, well, power techs are obviously going to be better at tanking than a Sith Juggernaut. They have balanced things very well.
Well, it's not even that. Stuff will get changed as the game plays out. It always does. So nothing's ever the best for long, even if there is a best.
Yeah, there isn't, but there could be. It could be in the future. They might do something. And to be honest, we don't really know how well the classes are going to scale with gear compared to each other.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. And I'm
Guess
confident.
what, chemist?
What?
Questions!
Questions! You cut me off before I was finished! Retard.
Yeah, but I've got to do that, otherwise you don't shut up.
Then say more! Retard. You just made me shut up there just for a microsecond. Had to process Migo stuff. Anyway, we have a bunch of questions, and Mook, if you'd be as kind to, read them up.
Right, the first question comes in. By the way, let me just clear this up now if you're watching and you want your questions to come up. From now on, could you just direct the questions towards private messages? Because it's so much easier for us to go through them rather than reading comments. I know that sounds like stupid because we don't exactly have pages and pages of comments, but when they get sent to us in an email, so it's easier for us to format into a coherent list.
Indeed.
So any questions you want answered, we're free to answer as many as you want to ask if we can find out about them. But right, anyway, back to it, darling. First one is from Dark Zero SWG. Love the name.
Love the name.
Yeah,
we love you, dude.
Can we establish if Bounty Hunter can vent heat during if vent heat can be used during combat or not? Excuse my failed English there. Well, I don't know the answer to this, so
maybe you want to read the question. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll do the first segment, and I'll read the other segment up. Can you vent heat in combat or not? Vent heat can be used in combat, but vent heat has a quite long cooldown, so it's kind of a move you do, and you can be interrupted while doing it. So don't do it while there's somebody on top of you. And vent heat is not instant; it's a channel. It takes a couple of seconds, not many seconds, but a few. And like I said, there's a combat it can be used. It's a combat usable move, but there's a long cooldown on it.
The second half of the question was wondering why Merc has cooldown and percentage reduction boxes on Firebug and Bodyguard. Oh dear.
Well, the reason why Bodyguard and Firebug trees have this
You
is
said
because
Firebuggers.
oh god, fuck's sake, too much Team Fortress. Actually, it is called Firebug, but anyhow, the reason for this is that Firebug is a shared tree between both Mercenary and Power Tech, meaning that both classes have access to this specific tree, so they wanted to have a vent heat ability in both. Shared trees might feature something that you're going to find in one side or the other anyway, but it's offered to give the other specialization a form of versatility. So if you were to go on Mercenary, we'd have two options of reducing and improving vent heat.
Right.
So that's the reason.
That answered that, but I'm gonna shake the questions up. Another one from Johagen Van.
Yes.
I know that's probably not his name, but who cares? Next question.
Joe
He said
Hagen,
next
but whatever.
question, because we answered his other one, is we can answer this one. I can answer this one. Any more about Revan being in the game and what his role will be? Well, we'll cover this in the lore video. I know we keep promising it, but we will do it eventually. It's going to be out, let's say next week, so we actually get it finished. So we'll cover more.
We're gonna have it out as soon as the competition has concluded. And just in case you were wondering when that is, the competition has now been running for a little over a week. Once we reach the 3-week mark, then we'll start creating it. We got a lot of questions. Keep them coming in with suggestions, guys. We're very eager to hear your suggestions. At the end of this video, we're going to explain a little more what the competition is if you're new to the show, and let you know how to participate.
Yeah. Right, now for the next question. It is, I'm going to, going back to almost the first one, is can you guys give more information about bounty hunter specializations? Because I can't decide what specialization to go, and the question is from Diella Wungut.
Whatever. You know who you are. You asked the question if you're listening now, that is. And if you're not, we're seriously pissed off because we just spent a whole 4 seconds trying to pronounce your name. Anyhow, the difference between the two specs is that they both have the capacity for doing damage, good damage, both of them. Power Tech has the option of dealing more damage from abilities such as rockets and flames, whereas the Mercenaries focus more on using dual pistols. Now, the difference between the two is that they have two secondary sub-specializations, meaning that the Mercenary has the capacity to heal, the Power Tech has the capacity to tank. It's basically their secondaries that are different, and obviously the immense aesthetical difference of the two classes. Basically, the Power Tech looking a little more armory, a little more like a Mandalorian using a single pistol, whereas the Mercenary will be more trench coats, hats, and dual pistols.
Trench coats, hats, and stripping off in dark alleyways to flash himself at young ladies.
Okay.
Right, on to the last question. Because that kind of, if you want more in-depth stuff, just ask again for more in-depth descriptions of moves and stuff. Because we might have access to like the lists of moves and stuff. That's a
no, we do have access to it, but we don't want to release it.
Right. The last questions come from, and this is in block capital, so you might want to cover your ears now. Okay? That means you, chemist.
Oh, wait.
Ready?
Ready? Yeah, go.
MSS instigates. So, because you're in capitals, I had to yell it. That's the internet rules. So
God.
The last question is, guys, can you get some more information on the SI Assassin's charge moves? As he wants to go SI tank, and he wants to obviously know what they do. I don't know, again, fuck all about this. So,
let's cover it. You have 3 charges. You want to think of charges as a sort of poison you can apply to your weapons. Now, the first charge you have is Lightning Charge. Lightning Charge is very simple. It gives you a chance every time you attack to deal extra damage to the target. Think of it as instant poison from WoW. Just an extra damage, and you can add talents that then does so that it also slows, acts like crippling poison, whatever. There's a myriad of ways you can change your charges. Now, each of these charges, most of them will have passive effects. In this case, Lightning Charge is just damage. That's the first one. The second one you have is Dark Charge. Dark Charge increases your armor by a certain amount and your threat generation and your slight amount of damage reduction. Now, the thing is, the charges are meant for you to change roles. So when you're in Lightning Charge, you're a DPS. When you're Dark Charge, you're tanking. The increased threat generation, plus it has a chance to damage the target and drain health and give it to yourself. It's a minute amount.
From hearing this, it's kind of like warrior stances in WoW.
It's warrior stances mixed with poisons.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's kind of a rogue cross warrior stance kind of style of play.
Exactly.
Ah, okay. See, I grasped that. You've done a good description because I didn't have a clue what they were. So you've done very well in describing that. So that's the difference. Does it unlock different talents for different stances?
Yeah, we're not done with the charges. There's one more. And they do offer different things like attachment. The last thing it is Surging Charge. Surging Charge is something that's offered in the damage side of the Assassin tree. Surging Charge just deals damage, but has the option to be attached further, basically like a stack that'll increase your damage by Surging Charge, or will give another secondary effect. So it's basically an upgraded version of Lightning Charge. Charges function as stances / poisons.
So
that's the basic thing.
Can you switch between them in combat?
You can. They cost 50 force out of 100 force or 110 depending on how you spec. So it's quite expensive to do in combat, but it is possible because assassins regenerate force quicker than sorcerers.
Nice. Well, you couldn't ask for a better description on that one.
Yeah.
Even I grasp it, and I'm a freaking retard. Anyway, that covers today's show, really. That's everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything covered. More questions the better, because the forum is not exactly highly active. You've got people talking about the same shite every day. So, if you want to throw questions at us, that makes our life easier, and you get your questions answered. Yep. So, drop us a PM with questions. Just title it questions or something like that. That'd be the easiest way. And we'll try and answer as many as possible.
Yep, we just have a few more points we want to cover before we leave you guys for this time. Just quick notice, competition. If you're new to the channel or new to the show, we have a competition going. We're giving away a free copy of TOR from either Amazon or Origin from your choice. What you have to do is subscribe to the channel and suggest the name of our new lore show. We're going to be doing a show that covers the lore of Star Wars: The Old Republic and the time zone that revolves around it and how it's going to impact your gameplay. So you want to suggest your name for the show, go ahead, submit it. Basically, subscribe to us, submit it, and send us a PM on YouTube, and we'll take it into account. The competition is going to run for a week and a half more, roughly, maybe a little more. And once we know, we'll announce it on the show and let the winners notify them directly. On top of that, aside from the competition, the next couple of weeks we're going to featuring class focuses. We're going to take each class and explain the ins and outs of them and why they're cool, basically to replace beta DPS. Since we already covered DPS, tanking and healing, we figured we'd do more leaks and let you guys know how the classes work.
In-depth sex.
In-depth sex. Next week, we're going to be covering the Sith Warrior / Jedi Knight, and we're going to explain to you how they work and what makes them cool, their advanced classes, etc., etc.
Oh.
And yeah, that pretty much sums it.
Lovely old job. Oh, well, we'll do another video on Wednesday, so subscribe and watch and comment and lick my balls. And we will see you again Wednesday.
Yeah, I've been Chemist.
I've been Luke.
Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.